Welcome to the Best of the Left Activism Update. My name is Lauren, and I'm the Activism Czar at bestoftheleft.com. Imagine if the U.S. could raise hundreds of billions, not from ordinary people, but from those who can afford it most. Go on, just for a second. What would you do? Stop cuts to our hospitals and schools? Create a new jobs program? Make sure no one has to sleep on the streets? End the AIDS pandemic? Give every child on the planet an education? Start getting serious about tackling climate change? The financial crisis and the recession have left a massive hole in the U.S. public finances. Jobs and the community services we rely on are at risk in the U.S., while many other developed and developing countries face a similar struggle. But there is another way. What started as an idea, a way to get America back on its feet and ensure global leadership, has now grown into a national campaign. It's called the Robin Hood tax. The Robin Hood tax and its supporters believe that banks, hedge funds, and the rest of the financial sector should pay their fair share to clean up the mess they helped create. Now, U.S. Representative Keith Ellison, Democrat from Minnesota, is introducing a bill to place a tiny tax on the sale of stocks, bonds, and derivatives that has the potential to raise billions in desperately needed revenue while clamping down on the Wall Street casino that continues to threaten our financial stability. We pay taxes on what we buy, and so should they. A tiny tax on Wall Street transactions that could raise hundreds of billions. That money could provide funding for jobs to kickstart the economy and get America back on its feet. It could help save the social safety net here and around the world. And it will come from the fairest taxation of the financial sector. This small tax of less than 0.5% of Wall Street transactions can generate hundreds of billions of dollars each year in the U.S. alone. That's enough to protect American schools, housing, local governments, and hospitals. Even enough to pay for life-saving AIDS medicines. And enough to support people and communities around the world, and deal with the climate challenges we're now facing. This tax won't affect ordinary Americans, their personal savings, or everyday consumer activity, such as ATMs or debit cards. It's easy to enforce and tough to evade. Simply put, this is a tax on Wall Street, who helped create the greatest economic crisis in our nation and globally since the Great Depression. The same people who have returned to record profits and bonuses while ordinary Americans, the 99%, continue to pay the price of their crisis. So it's time for justice for ordinary families and businesses, for Americans faced with a choice between buying food or paying the heating bill. The Robin Hood tax is just. It's not a tax on the people, but a tax for the people. So with your support, we can help pass this bill. Please join the Center for Media and Democracy, prwatch.org, and rootsaction.org in helping pass the Robin Hood tax. All the information can be found at robinhoodtax.org, so you can get involved and help spread the word. As their website says, taking on the might of Wall Street won't be easy. We don't have millions of dollars, but we have millions of people. This has been a Best of the Left Activism Update. For more information about the link in this segment, please consult the show notes at bestoftheleft.com. Likewise, if you yourself have an activist call to action you want featured on the show, please contact me directly at lauren@bestoftheleft.com.